Hey everyone, welcome back to College Shrimp Australia. So this week's going to be a little bit of a quick video. I'm just going to go through why I use so much Frogbit, because a lot of people have been asking me. The reason I do it is a few reasons, but the main reason is it's to lower the nitrates. So as shrimp eat, they produce waste that gets converted in the filter, and then you have an end product of nitrates. And the reason I'm doing a lot of Frogbit is lower nitrates means I can extend my water change time. And because I run smaller tanks with higher stocking density and I feed quite aggressively, it means the nitrates can go much higher. And I like to keep my nitrates 5 ppm or lower. And with small tanks, it can imbalance really quickly. But the advantage of having small tanks is I can have a lot of different colonies, and it means that I can breed a lot of different types and do selection breeding, which I really enjoy. But the big issue is if I don't want to be doing water changes all the time, and I want to have high input to get lots of breeding and shrimplets, it means that I need to do a lot more management. And the Frogbit allows me to extend water changes because it's eating the extra nitrates that have built up. And that's why I do it. The other reason is I find by having Frogbit, it gives something for the shrimp to eat. Because as the leaves of the Frogbit die, they eat it and they consume it. So it's extra food, extra protein, extra nutrients. And because I have so many shrimp tanks and so many shrimp within the tanks, as I'll show you in the next couple of clips, I need to grow additional Frogbit for them to eat. Mostly in my Neo tanks, my Caridina, they don't really eat the Frogbit because it doesn't die out, because they like the Frogbit like lower pH. But in my Neo Caridina tanks, I have to run higher pH of 7.5. And the Frogbit doesn't like that as much, so it dies out at a much faster rate. So I have to grow supplemental Frogbit to make up the difference and keep adding that in every couple of weeks as it dies off. So that's the reason I do it. It's to preserve the nitrates, keep them low, extend my water change period, but still have really good breeding rates. And because I use a lot of DSP and I use a lot of CSA food to get really good green walls, it means I have lots of nutrient input in a small tank. So to overcome that, I run lots of Frogbit. Then we move into a blue topaz tank. You know, half the tank's covered in Frogbit. There's a lot in there. One of my green tanks, but as you can see, look, that's them eating it there. It's a yellow tank, sorry. So look, they're eating it as it dies off. So I've got to keep replacing it. So there's a blue diamond tank. Heaps and heaps of babies in here. This one's gone through a massive explosion in babies. You can see them everywhere, all the green walls. Look at all the Frogbit there. So that's why I run a lot of the Frogbit, is because I have such a lot of shrimp in a small space. And it really helps with the nutrient load and nutrient imbalance, and keeps everything pretty stable nitrate wise, because you can't have all these little babies everywhere if your nitrates are too high. It just doesn't, they just don't produce. And that's how I overcome everything, by running the Frogbit. Here's a few more examples. So as you can see, really good green wall coverage, lots of baby shrimps, and then look at all the Frogbit. Again here's my black rose tank, lots of Frogbit. But look at all the shrimp on the glass, there's a lot. Lots and lots in the tank. Here's my snowball tank, really hard to see white on white, I know, but you know, there's a lot of snowballs in there. You know, there's a good amount, and then lots of Frogbit again. My green tank, green emerald tank. Again, lots of Frogbit. But also, there's a lot of shrimp in there too. Take these two tanks for example. There's a lot of little shrimplets in here. There's a lot of blue dreams in this tank. And same with this tank. A lot of little babies, but there's a lot of Frogbit. About half the tank's covered in Frogbit. So that's why I run so much Frogbit, because it's really good for nitrates. And lower nitrates, you get more shrimp breeding, more shrimp growth, and really good green walls. Like you can see, there's green walls all over the tank because everything's nicely balanced with nutrient input. So I even grow Frogbit in tubs as well to put in the tanks. So I sort of do a bi-weekly rotation. The reason I grow my own Frogbit is I go through so much of it and the shrimp start eating it once it starts breaking down. So I need to produce more. And I find by producing more, my nitrates stay nice and low. So I actually grow it because it makes, I can do a water change with really high stocking densities. I only have to do a water change every couple of weeks. Alright, so this is why I do it. This is sort of the proof, right? So this tank, I've just tested the nitrates, and you can see that's very well below 5 ppm. That's probably 1 or 2. And this tank hasn't had a water change for 2 weeks. So I'll do a water change tonight to add more minerals and stuff like that into the water. But this tank gets fed every day, and I put DSP in twice a week because there's a lot of babies in here. And you can see the sheer amount of babies in here is very impressive. And I feed it CSA food every day. And the quality is very good too. But that's why I do it. That's why I run lots of Frogbit. It's so I can have very good breeding. So hopefully that visual representation there shows why I use Frogbit. And it doesn't affect green wall formation because green walls come from nutrient inputs that aren't waste. So that's why I use DSP, Bacteria, any sort of bacterial powder you like. I really like DSP because you can't really overfeed it. Whereas Bacteria, if you overfeed it too much, it strips all the oxygen out of the water. But saying that, you can see I've still got very good green walls, you know, lots of breeding, lots of activity, lots of babies, very high shrimp numbers in the tanks. And overseas, they don't use floating plants to reduce nitrates. They just do a lot more water changes, much bigger tanks. But for me and my setup, I really have to rely on the Frogbit to reduce my nitrate load so I can still get really good breeding. And I thought I'd just put a video together because a few members have messaged me about lowering nitrates and how to do it. So I use Frogbit. Obviously, you've got to still do big water changes as well. But for me, with my job, it allows me to extend my water change period. As long as you keep your nitrates below 5 ppm, you'll get really good breeding. And also, I'd like to say that because I keep low nitrates, people say you need high nitrates to get green wall formation. That's pretty much false. You just need to have the right nutrients go into the tank to have good green walls. It requires the right light cycle, the right bacterial powders, vitamin powders to get the good green wall formation. So it's just a quick little video I put together to help everyone. And as always, I try and give evidence-based approach. So I show you my tanks have lots of shrimp. I show you it has low nitrates. I try and document everything in a way that is actually proven, not just me typing something up or just saying something that, you know, might not actually be proven method. And the proof's in the pudding, really, because I wouldn't have heaps of shrimp if I wasn't doing the right things. So yeah, just thought I'd put this together, make a quick little video. And if you've got ideas or anything about future videos, just drop a comment or send me a message and I'll endeavour to make it into the next video. Until then, I'll catch you guys next week. See ya.